Hello. It's coffee time. Where we go to the Daily Mail website, look at the news, and see if we can, I don't know, make some sense of the world, point and laugh, or maybe just surrender to the fact this is all some sort of computer simulation. Maybe. I don't know if we're going to find any bed bug stories today, but I don't know. There might be some creepy crawly stories. I haven't looked yet. One of the top stories that broke overnight was, do you remember Captain Tom Moore? Do you remember him? He walked around his garden and raised money, right? I didn't like him because in his biography he said how his first wife was frigid, and he had a loveless marriage. Yeah, not much of a gentleman, that. So I didn't rate him very highly. You should always take note what people say. Well, anyway, it seems like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Oh, and also Captain Tom, I don't know if you know this. Previously he'd been on quiz shows or whatever. He always wanted a bit of fame, always wanted a bit of fame. But well done for raising money for charity. But there is always a little caveat, a little proviso. But his daughter, Anna Ingram Moore, broke down in tears in an interview with Piers Morgan, right? And she admitted that, they pocketed 800,000. I am number dyslexic. 800,000 in book sales. She earned 85,000 salary and had a £200,000 complex built at their £1.2 million home. And again, this is all on the back of his charity work, you see. And of course, this has caused critics to say, you should pay it back. Well, is it fraud? I don't know. That's not for us to decide. I mean, if there is a fraud case to be decided, then so be it. But here they are on talking issues. I took all that money and I got caught. They express regret over money management, and here they are together, and she's thinking, I'm in the money, and it always comes down to that. It always comes down to greed. So yeah, I don't know if anything's going to come of it, But yeah, she did rather well. She admitted she was paid £18,000 for attending the Virgin Media O2 Captain Tom Foundation Connection Awards in 2021, when already being paid as chief executive of the body. Surely you'd just turn up for free. Or if you were just going to do that, you'd donate your fee to charity. I mean, I'm not gonna read it. These things always have a whiff of corruption. Talking of corruption, who remembers Bernie Ecclestone? I mean, he looks older than time itself. Is he the former? You've got to be careful how you say this. Former Formula One boss, Bernie Ecclestone, was in court today, and I don't know about you, but he always looks like what he looks like. He is like an evil old man. He looks like he should be something from a horror film, Like, was it Phantasm? Who remembers those films? He could be the villain in an 80s horror movie. But anyway, he admitted fraud today. Fraud. Yes, Ecclestone pled guilty to fraud after failing to declare more than £400 million that he had held in a Singapore trust. He found to declare it to the government. The money was just resting in his account. But yeah, he escaped jail. The little bastard escaped jail. The 92-year-old pled guilty. And with one wave of his checkbook, he was free because he agreed to pay the tax man more than £652 million in restitution. And that's it. And with that, well, you can go, Mr. Eccleston. Off you go. nothing to see here. Off you go. It just shows you, the more money you got, the more shit you can get away with. And if you've got no money, you're going to jail. So there you go. But yeah, he'd been previously cleared of bribery charges in August 2014 after he paid a German criminal court 60 million. See, just pay your way out, you know. He's like Mr. Monopoly, isn't he? Get out of jail free card. Jesus Christ, we're mugs. Anyway, we do have some animal news. Early animals. We was talking about the Chinese mitten crab yesterday. Do you remember? It's an invasive species, and we've got a picture. Oh, I can do better than that. We got video footage of a Chinese mitten crab. And he's not doing much at the moment. If there's an advert, there's a bloody advert. Son of a gun. For a 16-second clip. Are you pulling my plonker? Are you pulling my plonker? How long's the advert? The advert's longer than 16 seconds, I'll tell you that. It's for a computer game. Lords of the Fallen, out on the 13th of October. You can pre-order now. I'm not getting any money for that. I'm not getting any money. I just want to see the Chinese mitten crab in action. Jesus, if I had my shit together, I'd have all these clips ready, wouldn't I? Now can we see the crab? Here we go. Here's a Chinese mitten crab. Spotted in Bushy. That was in a Bushy. Do you remember Bushy? Remember what's his name in Bushy? Who cut down all the bushes? Maybe he unleashed the wrath of the mitten crab. People are going, what's he going on about? What the fuck is he going on about now? But yeah, Luana Factor, who's a vet specialising in exotic animal care at Hermit Crab Answers, told the Mail there was certainly the potential for further spread in the UK. And I think they went to just for the picture, didn't they? It's like, yeah. The vets I see don't look like that. But anyway, so let's have a look at the mitten crab hotspot map of UK. Here you go. Do you have mitten crabs? I don't want to know about it. I think you need to go to the doctors. I mean, there might be a cream that they can prescribe. So there you go. Mitten crabs, as far as the eye can see. But don't worry, we can do better than that. Right? We've had bed bugs, mitten crabs, scorpion. We had a scorpion, but now we've got Dermestes undulatus. Undulatus, yes. And here is the little fella, right? Dermestes undulatus. Yeah. And he's been known as a flesh eater. Because that's how the Daily Mail have put it. Urgent warning issued as flesh-eating beetle found in the UK after 3-year absence. The beetle was found on Flatholme Island in the Bristol Channel. But don't worry about it. Don't worry. It won't eat you. It feasts on the skin and bone and the flesh of dead animals. Yeah. Dermestes literally means skin eater, right? But yeah, they're very useful in forensic science because they can help determine, their presence can help determine how long a body has been, dumped, left in situ. So they're very unique bug. But Flatholme's community engagement officer Sarah Morgan said it was a mystery how the beetle had made it onto the island. But there you go. So it was once discovered by ecologists, recorded in the UK in 2020, but it's not been sighted since, and never in Wales before. So there you go, and here's Flathome Island. Good, they got that seagull, and there's the beetle. It's the Beatles, and here's Flathome Island from the air. I mean, how he got over there is a mystery. He must have got in someone's bag and travelled like that scorpion did. Meanwhile, have you had your car stolen or stripped for parts? Just 1 in 20 car thefts result in a conviction, and 2/3 the police fail to identify a suspect. Now, these are new statistics. Here's a stock image of a man doing the wrong. And now, funny thing is, right, is there was a white van dumped outside our place. It wasn't dumped by a person. It was dumped by the contractors who were tarmacking the road. They wanted the road cleared, so they moved this van. They dumped it, and it was out there for a while. And then one day, someone came along and removed the bonnet and stole some parts from it, whilst our neighbour was present, and he was remonstrating with them, saying, "What do you think you're doing?" And I think they may have even videoed them, but they were using fake number plates on their vehicle. So yeah, and then I saw another van just around the corner. Same thing had happened. They'd stolen the bonnet off of it. It was a white Ford Transit type van, and they must have been going around stealing this stuff. But anyway, the new day, I'm telling anecdotes. Oh, when you want to, what are your news? But yeah, Nextbase, the company that make dash cams, claim the new generation of criminals are outwitting current vehicle protections and getting away with it because the police are unable to track them. Figures obtained from 39 UK forces via a Freedom of Information request showed that between 2019 and 2022, just 6.7% of 396,000 reported car crimes resulted in somebody being charged. The near 400,000 crimes include motor theft, items being stolen from inside the car and interference with the vehicle, which includes victims of car cannibals where the vehicles are stripped for parts and sold for spares. So yeah. You'd think we've got more cameras up, we're more monitored than we've ever been. You'd think that there would be a process, but no, it's not happening. So we've got talking of crime, we've got some CCTV footage of Veolia. They are a refuse company in they cover Sheffield, and they've released this footage because more and more of their operatives are being assaulted by the public. Now, I'm getting the clip queued up, and there is an advert. But this is alright, because it's a 15-second advert, and the clip we're going to see is about 1 minute 50. So that's better. Oh, I can skip that one. You can see. Here we go. So here's the bin men doing what they do. And see, he nearly gets run over there. That's not good. Because meanwhile, this punter seems to be fighting with him over a cardboard box. I mean, all these bin lorries have got cameras on now. Mind you, it's taken us 2 months to get our glass taken away, isn't it, Mrs.? She's nodding. You should have gone out there like that. You should have gone out there and thrown the bottles at them. If they, especially you, Biffa, if you didn't do such a rubbish job, see what I did there. I don't think people will be angry, but the thing is, you can always tell when Biffa's been, because there's more rubbish on the streets than there is in the back of their van, you know. Because if a bin bag splits or, you know, anything is discharged, they don't clear it up. They just leave it, and it flutters around in the breeze. Yeah, the service is incredibly spotty. So But you shouldn't attack them. You shouldn't attack them. You should attack them via social media. There you go. So I just read some stuff. Meanwhile, we've got court news. This is the story of Robert Wood. The 42-year-old had a minor car collision, which saw him struck on the arm by a Peugeot taxi, and he was injured for 3 weeks. He suffered a neck injury and an injury to his right wrist, right? And this left him to claim that he was too injured to work. Right? And so he filed for financial loss and damage, suing Aviva Insurance for £10,000. But unfortunately, he got caught doing the martial arts. See, and Aviva went, "Oh yeah, I think there's a way in here." So, and here he is in action. Good action shot there. So Wood said. He said, no, that weren't me. That was my twin brother. The old twin brother defence. Did he actually have a twin brother? That would be interesting. Did he have a twin brother? He was a contestant on Ninja Warrior, so he's a very physically fit person. But yeah, they weren't having it. Oh, he has got a twin brother. He claimed his brother would give evidence at court, but at the last minute Wood retracted the claim, admitting he was fundamentally dishonest at the hearing in Southampton County Court. The judge then ordered him to pay Aviva £13,000 towards court costs. So there you go. So remember, if you see this fella around giving you the thumbs up, run in the opposite direction, because he's a fraudster. See, mate, if you'd have had millions, you could have done a Bernie Ecclestone and just paid it off. Got away with it. Got away with it. Neighbours from hell. Fancy a neighbour from hell? An elderly woman, right, has hounded out a 75-year-old grandmother from the home she's lived in for 4 decades. Right? She's done this by blasting loud 1970s music through the party wall of their adjoining semi-detached, and this has lasted for 10 years, a decade. Right? Neighbour from hell, Judith Harrison, 65, pumped up the volume on a stereo system and shouted, screamed and banged on the walls and doors and floors of her property, bringing misery to Irene Morrill next door. Here she is. This is Judith Harrison outside Crewe Magistrates Court. I tell you, you wouldn't mess with her. You wouldn't mess with her, would you? Not good. Not good. I imagine she was mainly playing progressive rock. That's enough to make anyone run, isn't it? The court heard that Harrison only turned down the volume whenever she had visitors, but then ratcheted up again when they left. The retired hairdresser was issued with 2 community protection notices from a local council and has already been fined twice over the racket. It was hauled in court after being accused of breaching the order on 72 occasions in 2 months. And this is the property involved. Blimey. Blimey, it's not good, is it? In a statement, charity fundraiser Mrs. Morrell has 2 cockapoo dogs, Zach and Milo. Good for you. So she suffered so much stress under the barrage of noise she developed a dermatological condition. She's now planning to leave the rented property in Knutsford, Cheshire, where she's lived since 1983. So if you see a cheap property going up in Knutsford, Cheshire, you might want to check it out first. Sit outside in the car with the windows down. See if you can hear any 70s prog rock. At Crewe Magistrates Court, Harrison was fined £103 off. She pleaded guilty to failing to comply to community protection order. I mean, it's just a neighbours from hell. But here's Mrs. Morell with one of her cockapoos raising money. And unfortunately, she's being forced to move by a neighbour from hell. There you go. Meanwhile, the message in this story is never start vaping. This is a terrible, terrible story. This is Sarah Griffin from Belfast. She's 12 years old, right? And her vaping addiction left her in a coma. There you go. She was in a coma for 3 days and on a ventilator. Right, she was 9 when she got hooked on e-cigarettes. But yeah, she was hospitalised in September with an infection which left her struggling to breathe. And yeah, it was blamed on, excuse me, her vaping addiction. So there you go. Speaking out, this is her with her mother, Mary. She warns other children, don't vape. There you go, because it's left her with asthma. And yeah, she's not in a good way. So there you go. Do not vape. And here's that chart of children around the UK who's vaped. So it's not good. It's not good because they've only just started recently. So again, literally the last fortnight, started doing research into the effects of vaping. Can you believe it? Meanwhile, Health Secretary Steve Barclay vows to stop vapes looking like sweets. Yeah, because at the moment the packaging for vapes are just very brightly coloured. Here we go. Tell me that they're not aimed at children. And you had on one BBC show, I think it might have been a Panorama, had a guy from the Vape Association. He went, no, adults like bright colours too. He basically made an excuse for this. But yeah, they're going to. Well, again, they need to treat vapes exactly the same way as they treat cigarette smoking. And yeah, there's also a list here of changes to vape and smoking laws being proposed by the government in a crackdown. So we've got the list. Here we go. Under smoking, Sunak will press ahead with a proposal to phase out smoking by raising legal age for buying cigarettes by 1 year every year. Should such proposals come into force, anyone born after 2008 would never legally be able to buy a cigarette in the UK. So that's Herbie. Herb can't. Verity can. Herb can't. Vape laws, restricting the flavours and description of vapes so that vape flavours are no longer targeted at children, regulating the point of sale displays so that they don't appeal to children and are outside of children. Again, they need to be behind the screen. Regulating vape packaging and product representation. Considering restricting the sale of disposable vapes. Again, just the e-waste on that, because each one of those has a tiny little battery, lithium battery inside. And come on, exploring further restrictions for non-nicotine vapes and other nicotine consumer products, such as pouches. Exploring whether increasing the price of vapes will reduce the number of young people using them. And introducing new powers for local authorities to issue on-the-spot fines to enforce age of sale legislation of tobacco products and vapes. So yeah, I mean, the government, if they do manage to bring these in, are in the right area. It needs to be done. Again, vapes should be treated exactly the same as cigarettes. Here we go. This is a follow-up to yesterday's Luton Airport story, where the airport car park, the multi-storey car park there, basically exploded. A car went boom and it set off a chain reaction. There was a terrible fire, and now it's going to be demolished. They're going to have to. The structural damage has left it in such a state that it won't be used ever again. But it's been revealed, despite it being built in 2019, there were no sprinklers. Oh, I tell you, Luton Airport's insurers are wincing. They're gone, oh, Oh, that's what they're doing. So yeah, that explains exactly why what happened. Again, I did mention it yesterday. It seemed like there were no sprinklers, didn't it? So we've got, it's still threatening that cold snap. The Met Office, 3 inches of rain could fall in parts of southern England today and Wales. And I reckon the temperature should plunge to -3. It's like, what? What? And oh, here's another story backing up the vape thing. They reckon that around 844 million vaping devices are dumped worldwide each year. And that is the equivalent, right? Here you go, here's the graphic. Look at that. That's a good illustrative stock image. And it's the equivalent of 6 Eiffel Towers in weight. There you go. And again, remember all those lithium batteries that are inside them that power the bloody things. Calculations found that 1.8 billion computer keyboards and mice, 910 remote controls and headphones, and 3.2 billion electronic toys are disposed of in waste. 9 million tons of invisible e-waste is thrown out worldwide each year. It's an incredible problem. I always try and sell my stuff on eBay. If I'm upgrading, and I don't really like upgrading because I'm aware of e-waste, so I try and sell things on or buy second hand, or very big on buying Apple refurbished stuff. In my futile attempt at at being green, as well as vapes, the study also found that 950 million kilos of cables containing precious copper, which is easily recyclable, were discarded, enough to circle the Earth 107 times. Many cables are stored in the home. You put them away in a cupboard and then forget about them, and then buy another one off of Amazon because you go, "Where's that cable I was looking for?" and you forgot which cupboard you put it in. Oh, it's just me then. Okay. I thought you got. So yeah. Yeah, there we go. E-waste is a big thing. Oh, ULEZ news. Remember Mayor Khan and his dreaded ULEZ. They reckon more than 2 million drivers a day could be wrongly identified and get fines by ULEZ and speed cameras. Because Professor Fraser Sampson, who's the outgoing commissioner for the retention and use of biometric material, he reckons that the system is being cheated and there are a number of errors. ANPR cameras are widely used to enforce road traffic regulations, and they reckon the network gathers 75 million to 800 million car data a day. And it could easily reach 100 million by the end of the year with the rapid deployment of more cameras. But yeah, Professor Fraser Sampson wrote a letter to Transport Secretary Mark Harper warning that as many as 1 in 15 motorists may be using anti-ANPR systems. He said with the rollout of ULEZ and the imposition of further 20-mile-per-hour zones, such measures could increase dramatically, undermining public confidence in the traffic enforcement regime. So what are these things? Oh, here we go. So these are some of the techniques that they use. They can either clone somebody else's number plate or use stealth tape, which is available from online retailers. Okay, I don't know what that is. Let's look up stealth tape. Will the police come and arrest me? For stealth tape number plate, here we go. And there is actually a website called Stealth Plate, which allows you to. Wow, there you go. Is that legal? I thought you had to have a recognised identification on your car. I thought it was a legal requirement. So yeah, clone number plates could see innocent motorists being prosecuted for speeding, dodging toll payments, illegally using bus lanes, or ignoring ULEZ or other low emission zone rules. And Professor Sampson said with the 3% error rate, this could see significant risks of penalty notices being sent out to the wrong people. And that's probably going to go up when people, oh God, they've watched this video and they're going to start buying stealth tape. Don't buy stealth tape. Don't. Shouldn't have looked. Shouldn't have looked, should I? I've done enough. I feel like I've done enough. I'm trying to find. Meanwhile, the world teeters on a 235 trillion debt mountain. Yeah, $235 trillion debt mountain. And the World Bank warns that there's no magic wand to wipe it away. I thought it was a magic money tree. Who remembers Theresa May's magic money tree? That'll help. Meanwhile, work has begun to remove the world-famous sycamore gap tree. And there's a big crane there. Again. There we go. It's very sad, though. Very sad. It's Brexit Britain, that is. I'll blame Brexit for that. Meanwhile, I reckon cash-strapped councils will be turning off Christmas lights. They're ditching the festive celebrations. It's going to be very dark. They do that every year. We've not had turkeys. Remember, every year we was doing like turkey, a shortage of turkeys. Do you remember? Run it. We're not running it now. It's the councils again. Still trying to find. I've got an animal story, but it's not a good animal story. Oh no, I've got another animal story there. We can do it now. Meanwhile, Ira Latham was at the Higley Unified School District meeting at Gilbert, Arizona, right? And the father of four was objecting to the new dress code policy at the school, which is more lenient and basically allows the student to wear anything as long as it didn't expose the student's underwear. And he illustrated his point by saying for the mums today, what a beefcake. And so, yeah, you can get away with that in the new school dress code. You made your point brilliantly. So, cows. Cows are dangerous. That's the reason why we eat them. Because they will attack. They will trample you. Do you know how many people a year die by cow? Well, I don't. I'm not even going to bother looking up. But it sounds dramatic, doesn't it, when I put it like that? So anyway, Catherine Meares thought she was going to die when she was attacked by a rampaging cow. She was out walking her family dog near a field near her home in Carlisle, Cumbria. The 26-year-old environment officer thinks that her screams may have startled the brown cow and stopped it from delivering the final blow. But unfortunately, it left poor Catherine looking like this. Oh my goodness. You know? And she thought that it actually popped her eye out of her head when she checked. This is her checking her injury via her phone. But yeah, this is what she looks like now. She's recovered. So she's looking a bit happier. But yeah, cows are dead. No picture of the cow though. No pictures of the cow. Here is her recovering. Oh, that looks sore, isn't it? Yeah, she also had a jaw injury as well. Got lots of pictures of her recovering from it, but no pictures of the cow. But anyway, get well soon. Glad you recovered from that. But meanwhile, we're going to the Billabong Sanctuary near Townsville in North Queensland, where they were feeding the crocodiles. This was at Monday's afternoon feeding session, where the ranger was inducing spectators to junior the crocodile, and I'm sure everything went fine. Shall we see what happens? Oh, I think it got him. It got him. Oh, yep, it got him. It got a nipping. Got to be careful. Got to be careful with those crocs, haven't you? So yeah, the young ranger spent a second night in hospital after a crocodile feeding session went horribly wrong. Right? Visitor Kate Javry told of the event, saying he was in shock. It seemed he didn't want to look at his hand. My friends ran over to the reception to alert them to get some first aid supplies to help stop the bleeding. But he was apologising to us, and we really felt sorry for him. The 25-year-old ranger was taken to hospital. He's in a stable condition where he's still recovering. Queensland's Ambulance Service Acting Senior Operations Supervisor David Cole said the ranger was in good spirits despite the harrowing ordeal, adding he was a very lucky man. So yeah, gave him a bit of a nip there, and yeah, he's still in hospital at the moment. Well, get well soon, you know. And again, if you're feeding crocodiles, you've got to be snappy. Okay, I think I've done enough damage. Shall we see if there's anybody lurking in the chat room? Let's have a look. There's 9 people. Gareth's in. He says, happy Thursday indeed. Same to you. Payne's in this afternoon. Audio's a bit squiffy. Sounds a bit hollow. Oh dear. Don't know why. Oh! Do you know why? My microphones had fell over. Oh dear. I've ruined everything. I hadn't noticed that. My microphones just had fallen back. These are highly directional ones, and I'm supposed to have them pointing at me. And instead, they just tipped back a bit. To the point where I hadn't noticed. They were still kind of pointing at me. They were pointing kind of upwards. Oh, see, look. Whoops. See, look. Got them on a little stand, you see. Balanced on my keyboard. Oh, wait a minute. I can use dog cam to illustrate. Dog cam. See, look. This is what I see. I see this. Look. I see that. And there's my microphones. Oh, look. There's the kids. And so, and there's a rabbit. And yeah, so I got it balanced there, and they just kind of fell back like that. That's enough action. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry. Hopefully it didn't spoil your enjoyment too much. Dog cam, dog cam, dog cam. Oh, dog cam. Oh. So, where were we? Neil says, hey, Dan, love the Phantasm films. Remember them well, exactly. Bit of that high-pitched artifact. That's because the microphones are pointing at the ceiling and probably picking up something from the camera. Gareth says, yeah, I'm listening on headphones. There's a high-pitched distortion when you speak. Yeah, it's because... is it cleared now? Is it cleared? DJ says, people had their cars broken into, but Seth Rogen says his car's been broken into many times and he's fine with it. Why shouldn't you be? Well, he's a millionaire. Well, we don't do... stoners get banned. Sorry, mate. Bye. Because I don't like druggies. Run says, hi Darren, sounds a bit weird. Yeah, the mics fell over. We catch up on the live stream on Tuesday, says Andrew. Did you enjoy it? Missing Remote says, some rainy weather here where I am. 3 inches falling. Missing Remote, he's enjoying a good 3 inches. It's been a bit damp here. It's been a bit damp. Andrew says, Friday 13th tomorrow. I'm staying at home. And you got a little known album being reissued tomorrow, Dark Side of the Moon. There you go. Gareth says, talk about biting the hand that feeds, indeed. And Andrew said it was a love bite. Sounds better now, yeah, because I moved the camera. Drunk microphones. I was so excited to get online to do this that I didn't check me mics. I don't know how they fell over. Because I usually have this. It's a fairly solid base, you know. But these things happen. That's what happens when you get an imbecile like me to do this kind of stuff. It all goes wrong. Anyway, thank you for watching. That was the news. If slightly muffled, sorry, missus. I'm going to apologise because this is what I do it for. Sorry, missus. I'll just say it again as it's playing. What do you reckon? As I say every day when we sit down and watch this while I eat my sandwich, I've already seen this. So thanks for watching. That was the news. Killing the channel, one video at a time. You know you've got to drink it up. Ta-ta.